Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of my Super Nintendo collection. If you haven't seen part 1, please do so before you check out this video. In this part, I'm going to showcase all my loose carts, as well as my doubles as well, just to sort of add it as an extra bonus. But yeah, so for everyone that has watched my first video and commented, thank you very much for doing so. I hope this video you get some info out of it as well, and yeah, so let's get started. First game I'm going to show you, may as well kick this off with a bang. This is a game that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to pick up a Super Nintendo. I've always wanted to play this game, I never have, and that is Demon's Crest. This is a fantastic action platformer by Capcom. It is the third in a series. The original series is known as Gargoyle's Quest, but for whatever reason Capcom decided to name this one Demon's Crest. The first game is available on the Game Boy. It's quite easy to find. The second game in the West was released on the NES, which was known as Gargoyle's Quest 2. And it did come out on the Game Boy, but only in Japan. And the third game being this one. This was quite a late game in the Super Nintendo life cycle, and I believe it was ignored by a lot of people at the time. Most people probably weren't aware that this was a sequel game to the Gargoyle's Quest series, as well as a spin-off from the Ghouls and Ghosts series as well. Really great game, pretty rare, very sought after game. But it's fantastic, plays really well, great sort of platform action game, really great music, and it's a lot of fun. Next game I have here is UN Squadron, and this game is a fantastic horizontal shooter by Capcom. Just a really fun game. I definitely recommend this one, guys, if you like shoot 'em ups, especially if you're a fan of horizontal shoot 'em ups. Just a solid shooter. Great gameplay, great graphics, a lot of fun. One of the better ones on the Super Nintendo in my opinion. Next one I have here, this is a classic, that is Super Punch-Out. Really good game. I really like this one. This is a very cool. I've never played the Nintendo version of this game, but this one's got really great graphics, very sort of pick up and play style gameplay. Just a great arcadey sort of boxing game. Moving on, I've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is a fun game. This is like a side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of game, action game. You can pick any of the Power Rangers, and you sort of run along the screen, beating up enemies. You got a bit of platforming action as well. It's a fun game, and it's quite sought after as well. This is actually quite a this game tends to sort of vary in price quite a bit. A box copy can be quite hard to get as well. But yeah, really good game. If you like Power Rangers, this is definitely a must-have game. Or if you're just a fan of 2D side-scrollers, definitely give this one a look. Next game I have here is Super Aleste. This is a really good vertical shooter. Just a lot of fun. This is definitely one of the best shooters on the Super Nintendo in my opinion. It's got great fast gameplay, some excellent level design. Again, if you like shoot 'em ups, definitely check out Super Aleste. And from my American friends, I believe this is called Space Megaforce. Don't quote me on that, I can't quite remember, but I believe it is Space Megaforce. But really good game in any case. Next one I have here, and this is one of my favourites, as this is actually one of my favourite genres, and it's a scrolling beat 'em up, and that is Final Fight 2. Just a really good beat 'em up, definitely a great game on the Super Nintendo. Not my favourite in the Final Fight series, but it's definitely a fun game. Definitely worth checking out if you can get a copy. And we've got the follow-up here, Final Fight 3. This is a brilliant game, definitely a must-have if you have a Super Nintendo. They really stepped up the gameplay on this compared to the second one. It's a lot of fun, and it is my favourite Final Fight game in the series. Next game we have here is Run Saber. This is quite a curious little game because it actually plays a hell of a lot like the Mega Drive Strider. Most people kind of view Run Saber as a bit of a Strider ripoff, but it's a fun game. It's got 2-player co-op on it. It's not as good as Strider, but it's definitely a great action side-scroller if that's what you're into. And next one I've got here is another shoot 'em up, and that is Darius Twin. Yeah, just a fun horizontal shooter. Not much to say on it really. I haven't really played this game that much, but it's still a great game. A lot of fun to play. If you like shoot 'em ups, they're definitely worth checking out. Next game I have here, and this is another 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, and you're going to notice a theme here because I have a lot of them. It is my favorite genre, and that is Pirates of Dark Water. This is based on a cartoon series that came out during the 90s. This is a 2D beat 'em up. You've got 2-player co-op on it. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I actually was pleasantly surprised by how good this game is. It plays really well, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely check this one out, guys. It's pretty uncommon, but it's not very expensive. I mean, it's a pricey title for sure. It generally goes for around £20. It hovers around that mark, but it's quite uncommon as well. But definitely don't pass this game up if you like 2D side-scrolling beat 'em ups. And another beat 'em up I have here, and this is the Death and Return of Superman. This is a good 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, but I have to say this is quite a rare game. Quite sought after. On the Mega Drive, this is one of the rarest games on the Mega Drive. But on the Super Nintendo, the cartridge can be found, but it goes for quite a premium price. A box complete copy can be very hard to find. In terms of all the 2D side-scrolling beat 'em ups, this is not the best beat 'em up. I don't really think it's worth what it goes for. It's a decent side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it's not 2-player co-op. The graphics aren't the best, and you know there are far better beat 'em ups on the Super Nintendo. But you know, for someone like myself who is a big fan of the genre, it's worth picking up. If you're going for a full collection, it's obviously worth picking up. But I think, you know, if you're just sort of picking select titles, I think most people can give this one a miss, especially given the price. Next one I have here, this is another 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, and that is Sailor Moon. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know, Sailor Moon is a very sort of girly cartoon that came out during the early 90s, but it's a very fun port of an arcade game. I was more familiar with the arcade version of this game. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. You've got 2-player co-op on this as well, if I recall, and it's a lot of fun. You know, it's not the best side-scrolling beat 'em up. I think if you're not really a fan of the genre, you can give this game a miss. But if you are a fan of the genre, it's just something a little bit different, and it's definitely worth a playthrough. Again, this is very uncommon. This is a very uncommon game. Box can be very hard to get, but it generally retails anywhere between the sort of £30 to £70 range, depending on where you get it. But it's a fun game nonetheless. Next one I have here is Battletoads Battle Maniacs. This is another cool side-scrolling beat 'em ups in the Battletoads series. It's a lot of fun. This game can be found quite cheaply, so definitely worth a pick up. It's not my favourite. Again, I'm not really a big fan of the Battletoads series, but it's definitely a lot of fun. It's got really great big sort of sprites and graphics. It's a cool arcadey beat 'em up if you're into the genre. Next game I have here is Super Mario All-Stars Super Mario World. Pretty self-explanatory. This is basically a compilation cart. It's got the first 3 NES Super Mario games. You've got Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 2 and Mario Brothers 3, as well as the Lost Levels, which was the original Super Mario Brothers 2. And of course you've got Super Mario World as well, all in one cartridge. The cart was generally bundled in as part of a Super Nintendo pack, and a box copy of this can be very, very hard to find. Super Mario All-Stars box is not hard to find, but the Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World is quite tricky to track down. I have seen a copy on eBay, but it's not in very good condition. But otherwise, you know, it's Super Mario. You don't need me to tell you it's worth getting. And the next one I have here is Mega Man X. This was the first in a new series of Mega Man games that was sort of like a rebranding. Brand new storyline, brand new Mega Man, but still set within the Mega Man continuity. And this is a fantastic game, guys. This cart is quite pricey. The sequels are a hell of a lot more expensive. Definitely worth checking out if you like Mega Man. If you like 2D action side scrollers, this is definitely worth a look. But I think this game is sort of available in so many other places that you probably don't need to shell out for a Super Nintendo copy. If you have either a PSP or you can get the American imports of the Mega Man X compilation series. But if you want to play on the Super Nintendo, this is definitely a game to get because it is a lot of fun. And next one I have here is The Adventures of Batman and Robin. This is an action side-scrolling game based off the Batman animated series from the early 1990s. It's a really fun game. If you like 2D action side-scrollers, this is definitely one to check out. It is a very pricey game though. It generally retails around the 40, sort of the 30 to sort of £60 range, just the cart only, and a box copy can go for well over 100. But it's a fun game. If you like action side scrollers, this is definitely one to check out. It's got really nice graphics, very much suits the tone of the cartoon, and I enjoy it. It's one of my favourites. Next one I have here. This is a classic game on a Super Nintendo, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Really great 2D action side-scroller. But I have to admit, this is actually not my favourite on the Super Nintendo. I know a lot of people really like this game, but as great as it is, it's not my favourite. It's fun though, I do play it a lot, it's a really great game. But I've always favoured more the Final Fight series and the Captain Commando and so forth. But it's a great game, and this is definitely a must-have on the Super Nintendo. Highly recommended. Next one I have here is Ninja Warriors, the new generation. This is based on on a series of games, action side-scrolling games. It basically got a revamped look for the Super Nintendo. It plays very much like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but it's restricted to one plane as opposed to traditional side-scrollers that allow you to sort of move up and down across the levels. But it's a really fun game. You get a choice of 3 characters. It's got really great big sprites, very arcadey in its design, and a great game by who made this game? It's not Capcom. I can't remember, but it's definitely worth checking out, guys. This is definitely a gem on the Super Nintendo, but again, it is quite a pricey game. And finally, I've got here quite a rare game. This game is not as rare in Europe as it is in the US. In the US, this game is very rare. But I've got a loose cart of this. I was hoping to get a box copy of this game, but it goes for silly money. And that game is Hagane. This is a great 2D action side-scroller. You play as sort of like a cyborg ninja type. The controls can be quite tricky, but once you master it, it's definitely a lot of fun. But this game is balls hard. I can't even get past the second level. Still needs a lot of practice at this game. But it's brilliant nonetheless. If you like 2D action side-scrollers, definitely check out Hagane. It's a fantastic game. You know, chances are I'll probably never get a box copy of this game because a box copy tends to go between £300 to £400, which is just way out of my reach. But yeah, awesome game. So that's it, guys. That is all my loose carts that I have. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. But before I go, I do have a few more I want to show you just quickly here. I have a few doubles of games I've already showed you, games that I've already got boxed and complete. So I'm just gonna go through them very quickly here. And the first one is Skyblazer. The next one is Cybernator. Then I've got Pluck, as well as Legend, Axelay, and finally Pop and Twinbie's Rainbow Belt Adventures. So I've got the manual and the cart. And again, just before I leave, I've got another game I want to show you guys. This is a reproduction cart. It's from a series of games that never got a European release over here for the Super Nintendo. In both Japan and the US, a loose cart can be very expensive, much less a boxed complete copy. I wanted to own this in my collection, but I just couldn't afford to import a US cart, so I was able to get this reproduction, and it's based on a series of NES games, and that is the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. So this is actually 3 games in one. You've got the 3 NES games, and it plays perfectly. This was definitely a sound investment for me. I play this a lot. I was a big fan of the original Ninja Gaiden game on the NES, but I'd never got a chance to play the second and the third, so it's great to play it in these compilations. The graphics have been updated, slightly updated, not by much, and the sound as well. And it's a lot of fun. If you like side-scrolling action games, this is definitely a must. Whether you choose to import this game, expect to pay a premium. The reproduction cart is definitely not cheap either, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a Japanese or US copy. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some games that you might be interested in. Please let me know in the comments below if there was any games there that you liked, any games that you might think about getting. And of course, please leave me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. That would be greatly appreciated. So thank you very much, guys. I will be back very soon. So stay tuned.